With this limit, if you were to plug in a 3, this would be 3 cubed is 27. This would be 3 squared is 9 times a 3, so that's going to be negative 27. Then 27 minus 27 causes division by 0. That means we need to do algebra. And when there's a square root plus something or a square root minus something, that's a good time to use the conjugate. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and denominator by the conjugate, which will be the exact same thing, except you change the sign. So right now it's a minus, change it to a plus. And then if you multiply the top by it, you need to multiply the bottom by the same thing. Okay, so it's still going to say the limit as x approaches 3. And for the denominator, you don't need to multiply it out. Although I am going to factor this, because I could factor out an x squared, and then that would make that part a little simpler. So it'd be x squared factored out, and then what's left is x minus 3. And this part, just copy it down, parentheses, the square root of x plus 6 plus x in parentheses. And as I may have mentioned before, when you multiply the conjugate, you just need to multiply the first one times the first one, which is going to eliminate the radical, leaving only x plus 6. And then you only need to multiply the last one times the last one, which is going to be minus x squared. Now, in order for us to plug in a 3, this term right here has to be eliminated because this one is causing division by 0. The only way this can be eliminated is if you factor the top and x minus 3 shows up. So in order to factor the top, I need to put these in order, the x squared first, then the x, then the 6. Also, I find it easier to factor if the leading term is positive. So I'm going to factor out a negative 1. Then the x squared will be positive, the x will be negative, and the 6 will be negative. Then, I wish I could just copy and paste, but I can't. Well, I could the old-fashioned way, I just did it, I guess. Next, factor this. So it still has the limit as x approaches 3, and then on the top, negative 1 times, and it should factor with x minus 3 as one of the factors. So let's see, in order to get a negative 6 right here, then this is going to have to be a 2, and it's going to have to be a positive 2. So let's see, does that work? So the middle term would be, this is negative 3x, this is plus 2x, which leaves behind negative x. Perfect. Then copy and paste the bottom part. And then finally what was supposed to happen, happened. This gets canceled. And after that, you can go ahead and plug in the number 3. So this limit as x approaches 3 needs to stay until the last step when I actually plug in the 3. So then it's going to be negative 1 times 3 plus 2. And then 3 is squared. And the square root of 3 plus 6 plus 3. So this is going to be 5 negative. This is going to be square root of 9, so that's 3. And 3 plus 3 is 6. And then 6 times 9 is 54. And that cannot be reduced, so that is my final answer.